Hey guys, Brady here with your daily tennis lesson. Talking today about a few variations in the swing for the modern forehand. A couple points I want to touch on. The first being, how long should you guys let this non-dominant hand, or your left hand, how long should it stay on the racket before you let it go, to go ahead and hit the ball? So I feel like there's two positions that really work for this. The first being that I'm going to start turning my shoulders, and kind of halfway between me facing forward and facing the down the baseline, halfway between that, which I consider about 45 degrees, I think this is an okay time to let go of the left hand off the grip. Because what we want to feel is that both shoulders are turning us back. So right there, getting to that position, I felt my left shoulder help turn me back. At this point, I can free up that right arm and start to make my loop. Some of you guys need a little more help with that shoulder turn, so it actually makes sense to hold on with the left hand a little bit longer. So you guys probably want to get to a position where your shoulders are now facing down the baseline before you let go of this left hand. Here I'm really coiled and set. I can let go now, and I know I'm in a great position to drop and uncoil at the ball. Two mistakes I kind of see are the left hand doesn't stay on at all, which leaves you guys susceptible to just taking the racket back without turning your shoulders at all. That's clearly not a modern way to set the backswing. And the other one that's a little less common, but I see sometimes, is that you guys hold on to the throat of the racket a little too long. And we kind of over-rotate, and now I almost feel a little bit stuck back here, and it's a little bit more laborsome to end up getting me to the ball. So I want to show you kind of the two ways I like. The first one I'll let go here. The second one I'll hold on a little bit longer. And you guys, again, focus on that nice turn I'm making with that left hand. Okay, there's one, and then here's I'll hold on a little longer. And again, both those I'm just swinging that modern finish, okay? So pick the one that's more comfortable for you there, but be in one of those two positions, okay? Secondly, how big should the loop be? Get this question all the time, and if you guys watch the pros, you know this is like a thumbprint for these guys. You could tell Del Potro's backswing, if he had a mask on, because it's just so high and so big. And then a guy like Ferrer, keeps his loop quite a bit lower. All right, so what I would prefer to see from you guys is keep the loop somewhere between having the tip of the racket just at the top of your head. I think that's a good loop to have. It keeps you guys a little more in control. You can see where that elbow is. I'm not going to get stuck back here taking too big of a swing, but this still will provide a nice kind of slingshot into the ball. And for those of you that feel like you can time the forehand a little bit better and you want to make a little bigger loop, by all means go for it. What I would suggest though is never let this right elbow get up to the height of your shoulder. At this point, I think this loop is a little too big. All right, so let's go ahead. We'll do one where I keep my loop a little bit smaller, just with the tip of the racket kind of at head height. And then we'll do one where I go a little bit higher. Both those felt great. I personally prefer one that's a little bit bigger. And again, you guys try those two out. Just be wary of going kind of too minimal, and be very aware of going too big with the loop. Okay, and then the third kind of variation I want to talk about today is how tilted should my strings be when I'm taking this loop back. And you see a lot of players, especially Federer. Federer's got just that classic position where the racket head sits directly above the handle. We would say that's perpendicular. I think that's a great position to be in. Then again, I mentioned Ferrer earlier. Ferrer takes his racket back and the strings are quite a bit more shut towards the ground. And that's not a bad position to be in. I think that for a lot of club players can make some sense, because you guys will pretty much guarantee yourself some good topspin having a little more tilt in your strings. But I would advise, again, being somewhere between the two, somewhere between this and perpendicular. We obviously don't want to go past this because the racket head now comes too open. And if I go any more shut than that and I lay the racket down, now this backswing gets a little too wavy in here. It's not that traditional C shape on the loop, okay? So let's take a look at the more closed position first on this loop. And then I'll take one a little more perpendicular. And again, both those are modern forehands. You guys can have some variation in there. I don't want you to feel like there's this one cookie cutter type swing that you have to be considered a modern forehand. Just know kind of the extremes, and that we don't want to be getting into positions that won't allow us to hit the way the pros do. All right, so I hope that was helpful for you guys. That's all I got today. Please click like below this video, and if you happen to be watching on YouTube, please subscribe to our channel. Thanks, and we'll see you guys soon.